Hey everyone, Donna Lee, horticulture agent for LSU Ag Center here. Christmas is just around the corner and I thought we would take a look at making some Christmas decorations, namely a swag, using things that we already have like wire, ribbon, and using greenery from our yards. So I put this one together just a short while ago, kind of show you what I had in mind, and I'm going to show you how I did this. It's very simple, so don't think that you can't do it because you can. So to start with, these are the things that we will need: scissors, clippers, wire cutters. Those are things that we all probably have if we do any type of gardening. Some of the things that we won't have would be this wire. This is floral wire. We can get that at any craft store or even in a big box store. In the end, I will use this. This is Green Glow. What it actually does is make the leaves shiny. You know how when you buy a potted plant from a florist and the leaves are real shiny, it's because they've used something like this. We also need ribbon. Now the ribbon that I use is actually floral ribbon, and it's wired. In other words, there are wires on the edges. Now you really want to use that because when you make the bow, it stays puffy. If it doesn't have the wire, it flops. So for the greenery, and I want to show y'all what all came out of my yard. This is juniper, came from my yard. Right here is boxwood, it came from my yard. Here we have Sasanqua. This is Eleagnus. We may or may not use it. This is just an old-timey holly. Now this did not come from my yard. This is magnolia. And the other thing that did not come from my yard is just an old-fashioned cedar. So to begin with, especially on the boxwood, I took 2 to 3 stems and wired those together just to save time during the making of this video. I took 3 pieces of cedar and wired those together for our base. Now I feel like I have a few spots that just need a little bit pooping up a little bit or adding a little bit more. So I'm going to take the juniper and add it where I think I need it. So I'm thinking right here, and what I'll do is place the juniper on a piece of the cedar, take the floral wire and wrap it in. Then I take my clippers and cut. Now I like to get about 5 or 6 good wraps. That way what I add to the cedar will stay, even if we have a bit of wind, which you know we always do in Louisiana. So I don't know if you can tell, but I added it right here. Looks like it needs maybe a little bit more somewhere right in there, so I'll get a larger piece, kind of like this one. And I will probably wire him right here. And it will look like you'll be able to see the branch right now. But when I finish adding the other fillers, then they will cover that, so don't worry about that. So what I think I'll start with is the magnolia. Now I trimmed some of the leaves off of this magnolia, just using little pieces so that I get a nicer shape. I'm going to take my wire him in just like we talked about a while ago, and he's not wanting to stay, but that's okay because we're going to make him stay. Most of the time in nature you find things in odd numbers, so I always try to use odd numbers. Very rarely do you see 2 of something, and you never see anything in a straight line either. And because this guy's not wanting to behave, I'm wrapping him more than the 5 to 6 times. So now you'll see him. We're going to add another couple. We'll add one right here. You can get kind of tight also when you're trying to do your wrapping. So just be patient and work with it. And you don't have to, just remember, this is not delicate things. These are not delicate things. So you don't have to just, you know, they're not going to fall off or break off just because you get a little bit rough. Now then, I'm thinking we could use another one, probably somewhere, maybe somewhere right in here. So I'm taking another one. I'm going to wrap him. I grabbed 2 wires instead of 1. This stem is a little bit long and I just noticed that, so I'm just going to trim them a little bit so I don't have all of that. Okay. Now then, it's starting to fill out a little bit. We've got our 3 pieces of magnolia. Next, I will use a little bit of the sasanqua. This is a nice piece right here, and I think he would look great right there. Cut our wire. See, we've added another shape, another size. Always think about the shape of your leaves, the color of your leaves, the texture of your leaves. All of that adds to it. So let's add a bit more of the sasanqua. I'm just wrapping the wire again. Now I'm going to clip the wire. Now that gave us 2 sasanqua branches in there, so let's add a 3rd. And we will add him right here towards the end to give a little bit more definition. Okay, let's clip our wire. Now you can have a look at this guy. You can see that we've got 1, 2, 3 of the sasanqua. Again, we've got 3 of the magnolia. So next we will take the boxwood and add that in. The leaves are just a little bit different shape. The color is just a little bit different green. And remember what I said about 3s. So I'm going to add 3 more. Two more. My work table is very messy, y'all. I can't help it. That's just how I am. All right, now I've got 2. This will make number 3. And I may even go with 5 on this one. He's kind of nice. Now then, look at all of our greenery there and how pretty that is. If you have some old ornaments, you can wire those in if you want a little bit more color. Anything that is Christmassy, you can wire it in. I like this in a natural state. That's what I want. That doesn't mean that it's right or wrong. So whatever you want to do, just go ahead and do it. Now this green glow stuff, I am going to spray my leaves, and you can see automatically how they just start shining. I'll have to move him a little bit. Even the cedar and the juniper like the green glow. Okay, so here we are. Now I am out of red ribbon. I don't have much, don't have enough. So I'm going to use this green and red ribbon for this one. Pull him out of it. So now all I'm going to do is attach my bow to my cedar that I started with, and I'm just going to wrap it and twist it. Now I can take this wire and make a loop to use to hang from, or I can get a chenille. There we go. Now then, looks pretty good, huh? I need to trim up here a little bit, but that's it. He's done. Donna Lee, LSU Ag Center.